Anytime you beg another man to set you free, you'll never be free. Freedom is something that you have to do for yourself.
Okay, so I haven't made a video in a while. I did request access to the case hearing for Craig Wright's contempt hearing, but they told me they would give it to me about a month before when I requested it, but then when I requested it a couple days in advance, because they told me about a month before to request it a few days before, and they'd give it to me. When I did that, they didn't actually give it to me, so because I didn't actually watch the hearing myself, I didn't give any real commentary about it, but I am somewhat disappointed that it all got thrown out. That is that the passing off case is no longer going forward. It's disappointing, but at the same time, there's currently no ongoing lawsuits to look forward to. I mean, the appeal for the Cooper case was also rejected, so seems like that's not going forward anyway. Craig Wright said that he wants to appeal to the Supreme Court, but it's unclear if that's actually going to happen or go forward. So for the time being, there's no cases, no legal battles, and personally I think it's a good thing. I mean, it's not a good thing that he was unsuccessful in proving his identity or getting this passing off case to be heard, but it's a good thing that the air is cleared of all these things now. There's nothing lingering. And by and large, the world can just move on with the assumption that Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto. And I know all the haters who've been celebrating, obviously, for the last month since this has been official, but it never should have been about Craig, to be perfectly honest. I mean, the people who want to destroy BSV as a technology have tied everything to Craig so that they can use the reputation that they're destroying with Craig to associate that with the technology in people's heads, which is kind of stupid. Now, the thing that would have been nice if Craig Wright had been successful in winning any of these cases, it would have convinced a lot of people who needed that official confirmation that he is who he says he was. And really, if you just look around at the way that our world works, people who try to do that, people who try to make significant change in the world for the benefit of everyone, disrupts the power of the people who are currently controlling business and big tech. They don't get handed a win on a silver platter. You really have to fight for that, and it's usually not. It's almost never going to be one guy that goes and fixes everything for everyone. Yeah, I've been quiet for a little while. Take a lot of time for family and for myself in the month of December, so yeah, I just didn't really feel like making an update video until just now, so there's been a lot that's going on in the last little while, a lot that I want to comment on. I mean, Trump is now president again. It seems like he freed Ross Ulbricht. Recently, Elon Musk has been saying, or he said just recently, that he doesn't want to see Roger Ver pardoned because he gave up his U.S. citizenship, which I think is bullshit, but I don't really want to give my commentary about it. I think the more interesting thing is that the Trump family, I believe it was Eric Trump, released a Trump meme coin on Solana, and the Millennia meme coin on Solana. And I think it just kind of signals that, I don't know, I think there's a lot of people that were optimistic that Trump was out to do some good, that he was going to come in and figure out how to use these technologies to make things better. And I'm not particularly optimistic of that. I think the people who really want to believe that should be cautiously optimistic at best. Because I mean, this is the guy who said he was going to wipe out U.S. debt and then added more to it than anyone else. Granted, there's the pandemic, so he's got that ultimate excuse for why he borrowed and spent all that money, but whatever. We'll see if there's an excuse this time or not. But we'll see. I think it really does signal, though, that the shitcoin casino is going to move forward. I don't think that they're going to adopt a technology that massively disrupts these major industries. I think BSV is now partnered with the World Economic Forum at Davos. There's a couple presentations there by the BSV Association, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. I think generally the World Economic Forum does a lot that people don't agree with, tries to push certain things in society in a direction that people don't often agree with, but it's good for business. And I think there's a lot of dumb people out there who really just they want to ban the World Economic Forum. But okay, it's like 60% of the world's business goes through those people. I don't think people realize that a handful of corporations own almost everything. And these big business leaders, whether you like it or not, they control most of the planet. So rather than being adversarial with these people, we really should be trying to win these people over. Callie, come here. Because, we're not in a position to make demands, and these people largely control all the shit that we need. So, they absolutely need to be challenged. We shouldn't just go along with what they're doing, but be realistic when you're talking about these people. A lot of people there's no realization about who they're talking about or what they're really talking about when they talk about these things. I think it's just this figment thought of no, these are the people who own everything. So they're probably interested in using BSV to maintain their power rather than disrupting it. So I'm sure there's certain people within circles who've been suppressing BSV, and I don't know, it seems like the technology itself is being suppressed. The whole Craig Wright thing is just an excuse to suppress the technology. And they're probably going to end up using it at some point. The fear I always had recently was that the NAR and the DAR could be used to enforce the UN Sustainable Development Guidelines. Because I listened to some of the spaces, I participated in some of the spaces where they talked about that. And they pretty much said flat out they're going to obey any court order they receive. So if they get a court order saying they need to reverse transactions because it exceeds somebody's carbon credit allotment or something like that, they're going to do it. And I think the longer they can prevent people from building things that we would want to use on BSV, the longer they have to build those sorts of things that we really wouldn't want to use. And it's going to be kind of up to us to build and use these things before they do. They're going to build and deploy these things in such a way that we're really not going to like it. We're going to have to try to use alternatives. And it's like I said, I want to continue to learn to build on BSV. I'm going to build on BSV myself so that I can try to use that technology for good rather than impose some sort of technocratic control system through carbon credit systems, that sort of bullshit to save the planet, which is just really going to be something to control people in a different way. And I don't think that Trump is looking to use this technology for good. I think that he and his family want to protect the interests of themselves and their friends and the big business interests, because if you just look at some of the appointments he's made, he's obviously well connected with these people. So I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope he does a lot of great things and completely proves me wrong in the next 4 years, but I'm not holding my breath. I don't like to tell people what coins they should invest in, but I think right now, right before you get really good AI agents that know how to code, it's a great time to learn how to code, because these agents, they can help you quite a bit. I have something called Black Box AI running when I code on Microsoft Visual Studio Code. It helps me a lot. I get stuck on certain things and tells me what I'm doing wrong, so I wouldn't say how to invest your dollars, but investing your time in how these things, and understanding how these things all work is an investment that will hopefully pay off. There you go. Not financial advice.